Healthy Picks family. I had to start a video with the mask just for dramatic effect. And we're really going through a pandemic right now. I haven't seen you guys in so long. I gotta be more consistent with the videos, but I've been busy with work and other stuff. So I promise to be more consistent with the Healthy Picks podcast. I know a lot of y'all been asking me for videos, so I'm gonna try to be more consistent. So let's jump right into it. We haven't talked in a while. First, I'm gonna touch on some like Corona affecting sports stuff. Then we're gonna jump into like a little pre-draft insight on who I like in the draft. So first, Corona hit. I remember it very clear because I just had given out some picks for the Big East tournament, and I see that they started canceling all the games that day, like all the ACC tournament, Big East, Pac-12, SEC. And actually, the night before is when y'all probably remember the NBA announced that the season would be suspended. Then I figured that it would trickle down to college. So the day after, it was a Big East. The Big East tournament was starting. All the other tournaments were starting as well. And they started canceling tournaments. And it was funny because the only game that was going on at the time was Creighton versus St. John's. And then at halftime, they just dubbed that whole game. And that's when all sports really became a dub because of quarantine. So yeah, I know all of my sports gamblers, just sports fans in general, we're just missing out on sports right now, and we're just itching for it to get back. I think with the NFL draft being tonight, that's going to give like sports fans some hope as far as sports returning, hopefully sooner than later. So yeah, while we've been gone, it's been a lot going on. I want to first touch. Oh yeah, y'all probably wondering why I got this Giants blanket wrapped around me. This is just for dramatic effect. Because if my Falcons have a bad draft tonight, I'm changing my team. I'm changing my NFL team. If we have a bad draft tonight, I'm changing my NFL team. I don't know the who yet, but I'm thinking somebody in the NFC East probably. So I got the Giants blanket wrapped around me just in case. But let's start with college basketball. So we missed out on March Madness. That really hurt me to the soul. Like not just as a sports gambler, but just as a person who loves college basketball. That's probably one of my favorite sports to watch. And the fact that we missed out on March Madness was very, very sad. It was a lot of players that was going to be in the tournament as seniors who that was going to be their last shot playing college basketball. A real interesting story that I read about and also listened to was Lamar Stevens, Penn State small forward. He was actually 7 points away from breaking the school's all-time scoring record. So he definitely would have got that in a Big Ten tournament, and Penn State would have made the NCAA basketball tournament for the first time in like forever. So when you hear stories like that, that's just heartbreaking. He's not the only one that Corona affected their senior season, and yeah. So no NCAA tournament, no brackets, and I think this was going to be one of those years where literally anybody could have won the NCAA tournament. Like this was the year Michigan State. I like Michigan State. I like Duke. I like Kansas. I thought was going to be a tough out in the tournament. Even Kentucky was coming on strong. It was just going to be one of those years where literally Dayton, Obi Toppin, like it was one of those years where I feel like anybody on any given day could have beat anybody in the NCAA tournament. Upsets would have happened for sure. Brackets would have got busted for sure. So that was a big letdown as far as March. But something I want to touch on real quick is, I don't know if a lot of y'all seen it, probably did, the real heavy sports fans, but Jalen Green, the number one ranked rising senior in the country, actually skipped out on college to go to the G League. He'll be making over $500,000 next year. So I want to touch on that real quick because I think we're going to see that start to trend up. We're going to see that start to trend upwards for a lot of elite prospects. I'm talking about top 10 caliber kids in their class. I think they're going to start taking a hard look. They're going to start taking a hard look at the G League. A lot of people just don't like the NCAA and how they just make money off the kids, the likeness of the kids, and the kids don't see a penny from it. Now, I do understand people that say kids go there, develop, they get an education, and I respect all that because most kids do need college to improve their draft stock and to even become an NBA player. There's a lot of people that benefited from college, such as Trae Young. Like, if Trae Young would have just went from high school to NBA, I doubt he would have been drafted. But he had 1 year at Oklahoma, one great year at Oklahoma, and then he turned into a lottery pick. So I understand the people that say college, college is beneficial for athletes, even though they're not making money off of it. But for the elite prospects, I can definitely see them taking the G League route for years to come. So yeah, I want to touch on that. Jalen Green, the #1 player in the class of 2020, is going straight to the G League, skipping out on college. And I know that the G League, they also offered that to a couple other kids, but they decided to go to college. Right now, the NBA is deciding if they're going to come back or not. Adam Silver, he wants to be at the forefront of the return of sports. So we're going to see if NBA comes back. How does that look? Do we jump right into the playoffs? What's the series like? Are we going to cut it down to best of 5 instead of best of 7? So we're going to see how NBA looks. And I think this time off could help certain teams, such as the Lakers. That's an old veteran team. They got this time off. LeBron got to refuel. That's scary. So if NBA does come back, it's going to be interesting to see how that pans out with those teams getting a rest. Something interesting I seen them talking about on ESPN is if the playoffs came back, the Nets would be the 7th seed right now, and they were like discussing if KD and Kyrie would to come back and play in the playoffs. I don't think it would happen, but that would be interesting. The Nets, a 7th seed, could be anybody, KD, Kyrie, if they're healthy. But I don't think they would risk that this year. Let's say the NBA came back in June, July, just like the target dates. I doubt the Nets will risk it. But that's interesting. Next thing I want to touch on is college football. I do think there will be college football this year, even though they're saying it's up in the air. I just think it's too much money in it for them to miss out on college football. I think college football will happen. And NFL will happen as well. They'll probably miss out on OTAs and preseason, but as far as the season, I think it will start on time. I'm not sure how that'll look without fans, or if, we'll just have to wait and see how that goes. But I think football season will be back. If it doesn't start on time, I think we'll still get a full NFL season. They'll probably just miss out on OTAs and preseason. So that's my little spiel about how coronavirus is affecting sports and did affect sports already. I think the biggest loss so far has just been March Madness, NCAA tournament, college basketball. That hit my heart heavy. Anybody that knows me knows I love college basketball. That's the money month for me, healthy picks. We get busy in March. And we were starting to get on a hot streak right before this little corona. All my clients, your packages will be extended whenever sports come back. I got y'all for the rest of the year and on into next year when sports get back up and rolling. Don't even worry about that. So let's touch on the NFL draft real quick. And who I like tonight and what I'm thinking. So I'm going to just start by going over some of the people I really like in this draft. I'm gonna go by saying my favorite people in the draft. Jeff Okudah, defensive back at Ohio State. I think he's very elite. I think he's a top 5 pick. They got him going top 5, probably to the Lions at number 5. Me just seeing him all year, I just think he's a shutdown corner. And in today's NFL, where you got to guard so many different weapons, you got to guard Julio Jones, you got to guard Michael Thomas, Vez, Saints, Odell Beckham, DeAndre Hopkins, just everybody that you got to guard. You need that one shutdown corner. And I like Jeff Okudah out of Ohio State. I like C.J. Henderson out of Florida, defensive back. They actually got us slated to draft them at 9. Knowing my team, Falcons will probably do something else. We'll probably trade the pick. Something goofy will happen. I'm very high on Jordan Love, quarterback out of Utah State. I probably seen him play about 2 to 3 times this year because I had actually some money picks on Utah State. But I just think he just fits the bill. Like, he just looks like an NFL quarterback. He just has the size. His decision-making has to improve, though. So he definitely has to come in day one in it. I think he's the type of quarterback that sits a couple of years, and then you'll see him maximize his potential. But I'm high on Jordan Love. I'm high on Justin Herbert. I like Justin Herbert. I think he's a first-round type of talent. I got to see him in that Rose Bowl against Wisconsin. And that's the game that really stood out to me. He played really well. he's more mobile than what I thought he was. He really moves well, so I like Justin Herbert. As far as wide receivers, if I was picking, I'm taking Jerry Jeudy as the first wide receiver. I also like CeeDee Lamb, but I don't know. It's just something about them SEC wide receivers. I just think they cut different. They going up against the best week in and week out, so I would take Jerry Jeudy first. I'm high on Tua. One more quarterback thing. I'm high on Tua, even though he has the injury problem. I'm still high on Tua, and I still would take him. I think the Dolphins should definitely take Tua. That would be my pick if I was the Dolphins. Who else do I want to touch on? Running backs, I like DeAndre Swift. He should be late first round, early second round. Oh yeah, and I gotta touch on that Tom Brady to the Bucks. And he just got Gronk, OJ Howard, Cameron Brate, Mike Evans, Chris Godwin. That's giving me Toys R Us vibes for Tom Brady. He got a lot of toys to play with. We're gonna see how that defense hold up, but don't go crazy with putting future bets in on the Bucks to win the Super Bowl. I'm not sure. Let's just watch that pan out. But back to the draft. I like Xavier McKinney out of Alabama, safety. I think he's the best safety in the draft. I know a lot of people are high on that safety from Minnesota. I can't quite think of his name right now. But I like Xavier McKinney as the best safety in the draft. Justin Jefferson, wide receiver out of LSU. I like him. And I got to touch on some Harrisburg people that's going to get drafted. Shout out to Bryce Hall, Virginia defensive back. He should be hearing his name called tonight. Shout out to him. So, yeah, I'm excited for the draft tonight because as sports fans, this is just something that's going to get us excited, something we need just to give us that feel of sports coming back. And it's interesting to see how they do the virtual draft. So that's going to be cool to watch. So, yeah, I just wanted to tap in with y'all and give y'all like a quick little video. I know I've been going for a while. I'm going to try to be more consistent on the YouTube page and also for our podcast and on Instagram. Follow us on Instagram _healthy_picks. I probably just messed that name up. But if you type in Healthy Picks on Instagram, you'll find us. Twitter, you'll find us. Healthy Picks. So, yeah, I'm going to try to be on here more often and give y'all some sports talk while we go through this quarantine. And yeah, everybody, I just want to say be safe. Be protected. Keep your loved ones protected. And if you need anything, DM our Instagram page on Healthy Picks. We'll try to make something work if you're struggling right now. Anybody need any masks, let me know. And yeah, just stay safe and stay blessed.